All right, so let's see here. The Tucker Carlson, Ted Cruz thing is crazy. Here's the first clip.
Does Mossad share all of its intelligence with us?
Oh, probably not, but they share a lot. We don't share all of our intelligence with them, but we share a lot. It's a close alliance.
Do they spy domestically in the United States?
Oh, they probably do, and we do as well. And friends and allies spy on each other. And I assume all of our allies spy on us.
And that's okay with you?
You know what? One of the things about being a conservative is that you're not naive and utopian. You don't think...
Listen to this. Listen to these excuses for why Israel spies on us. He's got no problem. Oh, all allies, the greatest allies always spy on one another. I'm a conservative. That's the conservative way, is to not care about anything Israel does, to spy on us and blackmail us.
Humans are all... Part of the reason socialism doesn't work is the mantra from each according to his abilities to each according to his needs doesn't work. As a conservative, I assume people act in their rational self-interest.
So this is so bad, I saw even Alex Jones was calling him a traitor for this. Making excuses for Israel spying on us? Really?
So it's conservative to pay people to spy on you?
It's conservative to recognize that human beings act in their own self-interest, and every one of our friends spies on us, and I'm not...
Do you like it? That's my question. I'm not asking whether they have motive to do it. Of course they do. I understand that, and by the way, I'm not mad at them, but
they're God's chosen people, okay? They can spy on us all they want, Tucker. What don't understand about the book? Curse them and you'll be cursed, and allow them to spy. He's like, Tucker, they can spy on us. You know why?
I read about it in a book.
That's why, okay? God's chosen people, all right? Genesis 12.
You're an American lawmaker, so I just want to know, hold on, I want to know your attitude. Yeah. You said that your guiding principle, in fact, the only principle, the only criterion.
I said guiding, the overwhelming, I wouldn't say only.
Is it in America's interest? Is it in America's interest for Israel to spy on us, including on the president?
It is in America's interest to be closely allied with Israel because we get huge benefits for it. And you want to see the clear...
But I just want to stop on this line for a second. That it takes place, as you know.
Huge benefits.
And including on the president of the United States and several precedents. And
fighting wars
I just want to know if that's okay and why is it okay? Wouldn't an American lawmaker say to a client state, you're not allowed to spy on us? I'm sorry. I know why you want to. I'm not mad at you, but you're not allowed to.
Sure.
And I don't care for it. I don't want to be spied on by you. It's kind of weird not to say that, but you don't seem able to say that.
I bet you we could find clips of him like, China's spying on us and we need to go to war. I remember he like got into Congress around like the Tea Party Ron Paul days, and Alex Jones was for him. Alex Jones used to promote Ted Cruz, by the way. And then there's another clip where he says, I got into Congress because I wanted to be the fight for Israel. It's like, okay, you're a traitor.
Weird.
Now here he is running cover for AIPAC.
It's weird. We're talking about isolation. It's the obsession with Israel. Why is Israel...
Oh, I don't think I'm obsessed with Israel.
Okay, but I think a lot of people are. And like the question, Israel spies on us. Well, so does every other country. Why are you mad at Israel?
Yeah, all these Zionists are obsessed with Israel.
I guess... No. I'm hardly the one who... I've never taken money from the Israel lobby. Have you?
Taken money from the Israel...
From AIPAC.
You know somebody's lying when you ask them a question and they turn and look and then repeat the question. That's giving their brain a second to think how to come up with a lie. Watch again closely.
No. I'm hardly the one who... I've never taken money from the Israel lobby. Have you?
Taken money from the Israel...
From AIPAC.
Taking money. What does taking mean? He's going to go Jordan Peterson mode. What does taking money... What does the Israel lobby mean? What does taking really mean? What does money mean? He's going to go Jordan Peterson mode. So funny.
No, I'm hardly the one who... I've never taken money from the Israel lobby. Have you?
Taken money from the Israel...
From AIPAC.
So AIPAC raises a lot of money for me, but it's actually a misnomer because the people who raise money are individuals. So it's not the PAC itself.
It's individual Jews and Christians funding AIPAC, and then they give me the money. And I saw a meme of him online. I think it was 1.9 million they've given him. 1.9 million. That's somebody making 100,000 a year. They have to work 19 years to get the money that the Jews have paid him to be a slave to a foreign country. Not the best JP impression. I need to hear his voice and then I can mimic it. I know that was way off.
But they're individual members who believe in the American-Israeli friendship and relationship.
Is AIPAC a foreign lobby?
No, it's an American lobby. AIPAC stands for the America-Israeli Political Action.
What is it?
Israeli?
Lobby for?
So, to be honest, not a whole lot effectively. Listen, I came into Congress 13 years.
So they pay you a bunch of money to be an ineffective lobbyist, huh? They just give it to me because they like me. I don't really do anything for them. You know what I mean? Texas, America first, Jesus. God's chosen people.
Yes.
With the stated intention of being the leading defender of Israel in the United States Senate.
Great.
Oh my God, that's what, because Israel didn't have enough support. I've made this joke a million times. Like our candidates for president, these politicians, they're literally competing who could be the biggest Shabbos Goy slave to Israel. And here he is. This clip is going to go down in the history books.
I came into Congress 13 years ago
Yes.
with the stated intention of being the leading defender of Israel in the United States Senate.
Great.
He's a senator of Texas. You're supposed to be about America. Your constituents in Texas. Our country. And his goal, because he's a Christian and he gets AIPAC money, is to be the best politician for a foreign country. Thanks, Christians. Hey, Chris, why does Adam focus on Christians so much? I can't put it together. I've got no idea. No idea why, Chris.
I came into Congress 13 years ago
Yes.
with the stated intention of being the leading defender of Israel in the United States Senate.
Great.
And I've
But don't say that we have a Zionist-occupied government, because that's anti-Semitic.
worked every day to do that. AIPAC, a lot of times, AIPAC, I wish were much more effective. Like there
But
are
hold
folks
on.
on
But what do they
online
do?
who are
I
the
His problem with AIPAC is they're not more effective. They don't have more power. Unbelievable. Dude, this is like the best. Why hasn't this interviewed? Where are all the other reporters to interview our politicians and ask these questions? How come we're not hearing interviews like this until now? Where was this 10 years ago, 20 years ago?
fever swamp of terrified of AIPAC, and AIPAC.
I'm not terrified of AIPAC at all. You're the one who seems a little uncomfortable when I'm asking.
No,
this.
not uncomfortable at all.
I'm just asking what AIPAC does. My understanding, having known a lot of people who work at AIPAC, is that it lobbies on behalf of the Israeli government.
Wrong.
Oh, okay.
It's
When was the last time AIPAC took a position that deviated from Prime Minister Netanyahu?
all the time.
Name one.
Name one.
Okay. Let me go back and give a little history. If you want to do a deep dive on AIPAC,
I don't. I want to do a shallow dive that gets.
No,
I want to get to the core
You
question.
can't do it. You
AIPAC
can't
is
name
lobbying for
one.
Foreign government, and I don't. It's not. It's lobbying for the United States.
it is lobbying for a strong U.S.-Israeli relationship.
Okay. So it's nothing to do with the foreign government.
So stupid.
Okay, but it's lobbying on behalf of the interests of another country.
So that's not true at all. And if
That's not true.
No.
How much contact do you think AIPAC leaders have for the government of Israel?
No idea. I
Any,
imagine
you think?
some. I think the government of Israel is often frustrated with AIPAC because AIPAC's not nearly strong enough.
Do you think there's any coordination between the government?
Did he just say AIPAC's not nearly strong enough? So an Israeli lobby wants to have a strong relationship with America, so America does everything for it and gives him a pass on everything, and more for Israel. And he goes, they're not effective. The problem with AIPAC is they're not effective enough. You know what I mean, Tucker?
Government of Israel and AIPAC?
Do they talk? Sure. If you're lobbying for more U.S.-Mexico trade, would you talk to people in the U.S. and Mexico and the government? Sure. Like if.
So I'm not mad about that. There are a million countries that lobby Washington. I like a lot of those countries, including
Okay,
Israel.
but AIPAC are Americans.
But
They're
hold
not
on,
Israelis.
hold on. There are tons of Americans who lobby on behalf of foreign governments. I know them. I'm related to some of them. I know how it works. I'm from here. So my question is not, is it outrageous that foreign governments lobby the United States? They all do, okay, including Israel. My only question is, why don't we admit that is what's happening? You're denying it, but it's true.
Yeah,
and
but because what you're saying is false.
Why aren't they registered as a foreign lobby?
Because they're not.
They're not a foreign lobby.
No, they're not. And this is there's a fever swamp. Look,
It's not a fever swamp. These are very reasonable questions, and you've accused me of being obsessed with Israel, which I'm not.
I actually haven't. I've said
And of being
isolationists
feverish
are.
about it, which I'm not at all. I find it's a very tender spot when you ask it, and I don't know why.
So, Tucker, all right, let's go back. I was first elected.
All the Christian Zionists in Texas are going to want to support him even more now after they say he's the greatest of Israel needs a warrior to stand up for them in the White House. That's what the Christians are going to say.
Well, I was taught from the Bible.
Now, here we go. Using the Bible to justify bombing Iran.
Growing up in Sunday school, I was taught from the Bible. Those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed.
Because I read it in a book. Tucker, do you want to be? Do you know about the Jew God curse? Do you want to be cursed by God?
I read about it in a book.
And from my perspective,
Real truth. This is so good. Every reporter and every politician like this is how every interview should go.
growing up in Sunday school, I was taught from the Bible. Those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. And from my perspective, I want to be on the blessing side of things.
Of those who bless the government of Israel?
Those who bless Israel is what it says. It doesn't say the government of, it says the nation of Israel. So that's...
And who's in charge of the nation of Israel? The government. So you got to bless the government. God bless Netanyahu, or you will be cursed. God bless the rabbis that hate Jesus, some of them, but they still love that you follow them. God bless the rabbis that want to destroy America to fulfill their prophecies, or you will be cursed.
What an idiot. What an
So
idiot.
pathetic that this is who rules over us.
What a loser.
Why does Adam focus on Christians? Oh, I can't figure it out. Hey, Adam, stop talking about Christians. That's anti-white. What are you, a Jew, exposing all these Christian Zionist slaves?
Thing.
Of those who bless the government of Israel?
Those who bless Israel is what it says. It doesn't say the government of, it says the nation of Israel. So that's in the Bible. As a Christian, I believe that.
Where is that?
I can find it to you. I don't have the scripture off the tip of my. You pull out the phone and use the.
It's in
Pull out the phone. Is Genesis 12:2 or 12:3, right? It's the favorite verse that all the politicians know, and they all regurgitate over and over again, and he doesn't even know where it's at. Amazing.
Genesis. But so you're quoting a Bible phrase. You don't have context for it. You don't know where in the Bible it is, but that's like your theology. I'm confused. What does that even mean?
Tucker,
I'm a Christian. I want to know what you're talking about.
Okay. Where does my support for Israel come from? Number one,
The Bible.
because biblically we're commanded to support Israel. But number two,
Hold on.
I'm not holding up.
Hold on. You're
Like, dude, Tucker's got him so pressed in this interview. Ted Cruz is drowning. We got to do the drowning sound effects.
Christian. I am allowed to weigh in on this. We are commanded as Christians to support the government of Israel.
We are commanded to support Israel, and
What does that mean, Israel?
We're told those who bless Israel will be blessed.
Who told you that? Who told you you're commanded to support the Jews? The Jews in the book they wrote?
What? Hold on. Define Israel. This is important. Are you kidding? This is a majority Christian country.
Define Israel. Do you not know what Israel is? That would be the country you've asked like 49 questions about.
So that's what Genesis. That's what God is talking about.
The nation of Israel, yes.
And so is that the current borders, the current leadership? He's talking about the political entity called.
Genesis 12 doesn't say you support Israel or Jews, you'll be cursed. It says the descendants of Abraham is what it says. Which logically, it does follow that the only remaining tribe of Israel and Jacob was Judah, and they're known as the Jews, and they returned to the land and had their the rebirth of the Jewish nation. So it's not illogical, but that's not what it says. And Christians dispute it, of course, some of them at least.
Called Israel?
He's talking less.
But what? Hold on. Define Israel. This is important. Are you kidding? This is a majority Christian country.
Define Israel. Do you not know what Israel is? That would be the country you've asked like 49 questions about.
So that's what Genesis. That's what God is talking about.
The nation of Israel, yes.
So is that the current borders, the current leadership? He's talking about the political entity called Israel.
He's talking about the nation of Israel. Yet nations exist, and he's discussing a nation. A nation was the people of Israel.
Is the nation
They're the
God's
descendants of
referring
Abraham.
to in Genesis?
Yeah, I'm being vindicated, and the Christians online, the e-Crusaders, just cope even harder. And what they're doing is running cover for all of it. You can try to hand wave and say not real Christians, or you're the new Israel, you're the new chosen people, but they're the ones with all the power, and you've been spouting those talking points for decades, and they only have more power. First and foremost, we're talking about fake books. We're talking about Jewish fairy tales. We're talking about fake prophecies. Arguing over, what is the context and what does that really mean is all a mute point. Our take should be, we don't care what your book says. Genesis? What verse in Genesis? Our answer should just be,
Forget about it.
we're cursed if you...
Forget about it.
That's all we should say. You're not real opposition if you believe that Genesis is the word of God. They would lose all their power if, when they tried to talk to us about what God said, we said, I don't believe you.
Forget about it.
I don't believe you.
And by the way, it's not run by Benjamin Netanyahu as a dictator. It's a democratic country that elected.
He's the prime
He's been in power for over 20 years.
minister.
Right.
What?
But just like, America is the country run by Donald Trump. No, actually, the American people elected Donald Trump. The same principle
This is
there.
silly. I'm talking about the political entity of modern Israel.
Yes, and that is
You
that is
believe
Israel.
that's what God was talking about in
Yes.
Genesis.
I do, but
That country's existed since when?
for thousands of years. Now, there was a time when it didn't exist, and then it was recreated just over 70
But
years ago.
I'm saying, I think most people understand that line in Genesis to refer to the Jewish people, God's chosen people.
That's not what it says.
Okay, Israel, but you don't even know where in
It doesn't say Israel either.
the Bible.
It's talking about the descendants of Abraham, which, like I said, would be the Judeans or the Jews. And there are prophecies about them returning to the land too. So That's why fighting over the semantics and try to splitting hairs and saying, well, that's not really the context, and Christians actually believe it really means we're the new Israel, like that doesn't work. You're losing because that doesn't work.
It is.
So good.